The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode here in the RM Hive, where we dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. And our guest for today is the author of the book, God's Gift, A Story of Faith, Family, and Football. So please help me welcome Mr. Todd Mills. So, Todd, how are you today? Todd, it seems we're facing some technical difficulties. Let me try to fix this up. Okay, so please pause, and we'll be back with you in a few after a few couple of messages, people. So once again, though, please help me welcome the author of the book, God's Gift, A Story of Faith, Family, and Football. Please help me welcome Mr. Todd Mills. So Todd, how are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good. Thank you very much for asking me that, Todd. And again, Todd, welcome to the Hive. And there are a couple people, and again, to all of our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. And to those who are interested in this book, though, again, we'll be adding the Amazon link where you can purchase the book. Available, though, on the comments below. We'll pin that up for you. So if ever you don't want to type it down, we got everything covered for you to grab a copy. So, but before anything else, though, and before you grab that copy, so Todd, can you please tell us what this book is all about? And can you also give us a quick introduction on who is the Todd Mills?
Well, the book is it's a faith-based book, and the book is about it's a fictional story about a young athlete kind of finding his way through life, and he's basically we go on this journey with him to basically find his greater purpose in life as he faces some adversity and challenges that a lot of young athletes deal with.
And I love that. And also, coming back with you, Todd, because again, people want to know also, because again, talking more about faith, family, and football with this book. So, what about, so if you can just try to answer some questions here that I do have when it comes with your book. So, what inspired this idea of your book then?
Well, so the overall theme for the book is the grace of God. That favor that can't be obtained through works. So, the inspiration for the book basically came through my own experiences of God's grace in my own life.
Love that. And coming back with, so you could say that this book is also, how do you say this, was inspired by your own personal miracles and also personal struggles as well. That has been reflected in this book. Is that what you're trying to say here?
Correct. It's basically like kind of like a the gratitude that I felt, through the grace of God, kind of inspired the book. I was going through my own personal journeys in life, and me experiencing God's grace and Him pulling me through things and blessing me with things that I knew, I didn't deserve through anything that I had done
Oh.
or any that I take. So it was really just kind of like a note of gratitude.
Hmm. I do love that though. It's trying to portray a story and putting on what you have received in life, and that's really something that's really wonderful, especially with authors putting it down writing, having that constant reminder on how good and great life is, especially with all the blessings and miracles that happen with you. But because again, after receiving this and after having these experiences, Todd, just one quick question though. When did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer then?
Well, I don't know if I ever consciously decided that I wanted to be an author. I do, my full time career is in law enforcement, and writing is kind of more of a hobby slash passion of mine. And,
Oh,
one
okay.
day I just, began writing this story. And next thing you know, the story turned into a 230-page book. So,
So it just happens so quickly, like writing the first part and then unconsciously continuing it up until you completed that book then. And I really love that. But again, going back with the whole thing, Todd, especially that again, it's an unconscious thing to complete it up to 230 pages here. So what is the most surprising thing you learned then in creating your book?
well, I think the most surprising thing was that I, found, joy and pleasure and excitement in writing the story as if I
Hmm.
was almost like I was reading the story. It was kind of,
Oh.
odd, that it's almost like as the story was coming to me, it was, pretty exciting to write a story. Although it was coming from me, it almost felt like I was experiencing the storytelling from kind of an outside perspective almost.
Well, and I love that. I love that. And but coming back with the whole thing again, and if ever I'll be asking you, like this just from the top of my head here, Todd. When during the process of creating the book, were there any struggles or difficulties that you faced that put you on a spot though that you might think that this would be a hard thing for you to finish, or everything was just smooth sailing from the creation up until the completion? That's just what I'm thinking on top because I'm just kind of curious on how the whole process went though. If you don't mind me asking that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all writers and authors, we all probably experience what they call writer's block at times, and there's certain
Yes.
stories, certain small stories or details that may be somewhat hard to articulate or put in the words sometimes, and that kind of slows down
Mhm.
the writing process, and it takes a little bit
Mhm.
longer for you to kind of formulate how you want to say things and how you want to accurately describe the story that you have in your head. So there's always some hiccups, and then things come up in life that sometimes might slow down the process. But you got to just keep trucking along and keep writing and writing and writing, and then eventually you end up with a finished product.
Love that. Love that one. And that's a beautiful answer here, Todd. And Todd, one more thing though, coming back with the book here as well, because again, the story though is also being modeled by characters that you may know as well in your life. So, are there any therapeutic benefits to modeling a character after someone then?
Yeah, I mean, I think every character in the
Mhm.
book is inspired by someone or a blend of people that I know in real life. So I think
Mhm.
that is what makes it unique, is that all of these characters in the book in the book in a certain way um, have impacted my life and are part of my story. So
Love
I
that.
think that's special.
Love that level. Love that one. It really says though that these people and all these characters are really coming from the heart. It's just not something that you're thinking on the fly, but having these people with that and modeling these characters in your book from these people that are close to your heart is really something else that a lot of people can also love. And but one thing that I just want to ask you, Todd, before we wrap up this interview here, what do you think like really differentiates your book, God's Gift, from other books in the same genre or category?
I think a lot of like Christian stories, they have the intention to reflect Christ and direct consumers to Christ. So I think that my story I have that in common. My book has that in common with a lot of other stories. But I think the main difference is that I was very intentional about making the story entertaining and with action, and making it entertaining with action and authentic swagger of a young athlete.
Love it. So we're talking about total genuine ideas here, genuine thoughts. But if there's, because this just from the top of my head again, because Todd, there will be people who'll be interested to pick up your book, and there will be people who'll be grabbing a copy and reading this, and there will be some of them that will try to read it and try to digest the information here. But before people can take your book, or people will be reading your book, is there a message or lesson that you hope your readers will take away after reading your book, God's Gift?
Yeah, like I said, the theme of the book is God's
Hmm.
grace. God's gift is, the grace of God. It's a free gift that we can't earn or attain through works. So that's the theme of
Hmm.
the book, is creating a relationship with God and allowing Him to kind of direct your path, and not relying on your own strength, but on the grace of God to help you experience life to the fullest.
Love that. Love that. And again, you know what? And so again, to all of our viewers though and book lovers though, again, I would highly suggest for you to grab a copy, because if ever you'll be going to the Amazon though, there are a lot of people, even for people who have checked this book, like one from Ashley Mills as well. It's not my usual genre, but was drawn in from the very beginning. Loved it from start to finish. And if ever you love a story as well, coming from one of the commenters, we also have here Amanda, who also commented such a great and heartwarming book. Didn't want to put the book down. And if everyone to feel the same things here and want to know what Todd's story is, I would highly suggest just follow the link on the just follow the click on the link that we'll be adding on the comment section below for you guys to pick up and grab a copy of God's Gift by Todd Mills. Okay, available through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and if you want to get that ebook format, it's also available through Apple Books. You know what? So Todd, thank you very much for your time. Really, I do appreciate it. But also, one more thing, just want to ask you, Todd, do you see yourself writing more books with the similar themes in the future, or is this going to be something that people should be anticipating in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always writing. Like I said, it's a hobby of mine. So I'm
Hmm.
always writing when I have the time to. So yeah, I mean, I do think that you can expect more from me in the future.
Love that, love that. Okay, and if ever you know, so while these books are up and coming in the future, everyone, feel free to grab a copy of God's Gift right now, add it to your cart, add it to your future books to read list, or even add it to your collection, to your shelves. Because again, what's not a greater gift than giving the gift of knowledge? And again, stories are something that a lot of people should have, and inspiration. And if ever you want to make sure that you can get this, again, check on the comment section below. We'll be pinning in the Amazon link where you can purchase the book. Again, that's God's Gift, a story about family, faith, and football. And you know what, Todd, I gotta say this, thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And again, Todd, I'm looking forward to see your creative and writing journey takes you in the future, and looking forward to see more of your work in the future. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. And again, so to all of our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. And always remember that every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless and your imagination boundless. And as we say here at Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a good one. Bye bye.